Hello everybody, this is Question Mark here again with the third box opening this week. This time it is a set booster box of Innistrad Midnight Hunt. So this is the latest set. It's technically still pre-release week as we speak. The set officially releases this coming Friday, but that hardly matters anymore. I have the set booster box because that is what's available for pre-release. Also, I've been hearing some interesting numbers coming back about the EV, or expected value, of this set. And with most sets recently, the EV, or expected value, has been a good chunk greater than the actual price of the set. The box itself. As in, your expected value on a set booster box, say you pay $125 for a set booster box, you'd expect to see $140, $170 or something on average value worth of cards pulling out of it. That is not the case for this set. So far anyway, as of, pre-release week, I spent $125 on this box. The EV is $125 last time I checked, meaning that I'm probably just going to be making my monies back on this on average. Now, if you've watched Nathalia Community College like I have, he's always telling you, don't buy booster packs, buy singles, because these are all a gamble. So, if you need to make your money back, then don't gamble. If you need specific things instead of bulk, don't gamble. But honestly, gambling's fun. I'm an adult, and in this case, you have to be at least 13. Yep, that's what it says. I am at least 13, and so I will gamble. Also, set booster packs have some extra stuff in them from the art cards at the beginning that are not necessarily trash, even though they still kind of feel like it to me, to the list cards at the back that are occasionally gems. So that's one of the reasons why I bother with set boosters. Also, you can end up with more than one rare in a pack, so even though set boosters, you get fewer cards in each pack, you get fewer packs in each box, you can get more than one rare in a pack. I think the rate is something like 1 in every 3 packs has more than one rare, 1 every 4 packs. The odds are somewhere around there. So let's get cracking. Currently, the most valuable card in the set is Ren and 7, followed by, I believe, the Meat Hook Massacre, and some of the other planeswalkers. Okay, so our art card we got. Neat. Okay, I'm going to try to keep in mind where the center of the camera is here. Right about there. Oh, well, the reflection. Okay, well, oh yeah, also, so far, all the basic lands that I've found have this subtle etched pinstripe on the colored part. In this case, it's plain, so it's white, so it's not even colored. But it's got a different texture to that bit, as if it's using kind of the etched foil process. I figured that maybe these were special basics and that there were normal basics that would be included in other products. Nope, this is what all the basics in this set look like, and it's cool. I like it. Okay, then we got some commons. I did actually play a couple games of Sealed recently, and had a good time with it. I played Black and Green. Oh gosh, Infernal Gasp is really good. In fact, okay, right, I need to separate these out by commons, because I am going to be sorting these into my collection at large at the end of this. After the video is over, I have a large collection, and I'm going to be doing some sorting tonight. Foul play. Hey, can you see the roller mark on that? Let's see if I can hit the light just right. There it is. There it is. Roller marks are on cards regularly these days, like super, super often it seems. Oh well. Voldaren Ambusher. Okay. Beloved Beggar, cool. Haven't hit a rare yet, but there's... oh, there we go. Okay, so that was a showcase card. Also, I've already opened some draft booster packs and some set booster packs from my pre-release kit. So I'm going to be going a little quicker than I normally do. I'm not going to be showing off every single common and uncommon, reading all of them and everything. And especially like a common, even in the showcase frame. I've seen it. You've probably seen it by now. I like the showcase frame. I'm not particularly fond of this card. So long. Also, I have been seeing people all over the place on Rem Corollas Stalwart Slayer. Actually, I just... Is the last name supposed to be like a Corolla, like a Toyota Corolla or something? Carolus or Corollas? I don't know. Either way, I do want to read this card because I'm a commander player. This can be a commander. Might even be a kind of good commander. A colorless, a red, and a white, so 3 mana total, for a 2/3 flying haste. Back in the day, that would have been an excellent card. It's still probably a draft bomb. And maybe even good in standard, just that bit. Then, if a spell would deal damage to you or another permanent you control, prevent that damage. That is amazing, and I've seen some people, not to name any names, who have said that the word other just destroys this. Another on there. If it didn't say another, this card would be good. I think the card's pretty good anyway. Just to cover the rest of it real quick, if a spell would deal damage to an opponent or a permanent an opponent controls, it deals that much damage +1 instead. And there's a lot of things you can do with this. Let's see. The first one that comes to mind mostly is Earthquake. This is one that wasn't pointed out in some of the other videos that I saw, where they're like, oh, if you do Blasphemous Act or you do Chain Reaction, then Rem dies and all your other creatures live and you deal extra damage to your opponents and stuff. But, Rem dies and Rem cost a whole 3 mana to get out. No, that's a bummer. Well, and yes, though you may have already gotten in your hit for the turn and, saving all your creatures and killing all of your opponents and dealing bonus damage to your opponents is good. There's a handful, like quite a few red burn everything spells that say burn everything without flying. And this has flying. So I actually would love to do a deeper dive on Rem Carolus to see how good it can actually be, because I think it can actually be kind of good. Then we got our first foil. It's Mounted Dread Knight. I have a Vampire Commander deck, as I tend to bring up occasionally, and especially during Innistrad, it's going to come up. We're going to see more vampires. There's only one vampire in this set that I'm confident makes the cut in that deck. That's the 2 mana 2/2 with Menace. It has other abilities too. This ain't it. 5 mana, that's too much. Foil, that's neat. And my last card is a Wolf Token. Okay. Alright, so yeah, I will tend to dwell still on some of the rares, some of the mythics, especially legendary creatures, because I have opinions, These are commentary videos, really, so, we're here to have a chat while looking at some pretty cards. And we're on a little adventure here together through some packs. But other than that, you and I, we're just hanging out. We're just chilling. We're talking about cards. In this case, it's a little bit of a one-sided conversation, but I tend to be something of a chatterbox anyway, so I have opinions. And, hopefully in real life, if we had a conversation like this, it wouldn't be so one-sided. I would let you talk, don't worry. This is neat, but is it good? I don't know. I mean, it's like a French vanilla werewolf for common. It can't be that good. But it's got the pretty styles. And we got another common... Wait, this is not a werewolf. What? Why does this one have the style? When it enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life. Tap on 1 mana of any color. Gosh. Wait, it's a ramp that comes out on turn 4, and then you wait a turn, and then it ramps you? And until then, you get a whole healing salve out of it? Wow. Oof. Okay, what? I'm getting 3 showcase cards in this pack? I mean, that's neat. They're all commons and not very good. This is one of the few black werewolves. And it has another side. Menace, Nightbound. Yeah, that's cool. But, okay. Then we get another werewolf. 2/5. The other side, 6/5. Okay. Let's see, put that over there. Ah, we got a Mythic Rare. This one actually registers. I actually didn't realize it when opening my pre-release kit the other day. It's got, 6 draft packs in it, plus they gave me 2 set booster packs as prizes, and then the pre-release foil as well. Out of all of it, I got 1 card that was worth more than $5, I think. This is one of them. This is $6 last time I checked. It's a Mythic Rare, and it's neat. I'm actually going to go over it real quick. 3 mana for a 2/3 human wizard. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, create a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. At the beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more creature tokens, you may transform Puppet Snitcher. I like that's a little versatile, and then it says creature tokens. It doesn't care if they're specifically the zombies. But then when you flip it over, creature tokens you control lose all abilities and have base power and toughness 3/3. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may transform Puppet Factory. So it goes from being a creature that makes these decayed zombie tokens into making all those tokens bigger and lose decayed. This is potentially really good. I was thinking if you put it in a deck that makes not just decayed zombies that makes them bigger, but also if you played Awakening Zone or Rapacious One or Brood, I forget what they're called, but the Eldrazi that make 1/1s and 0/1s and stuff, this would make them 3/3s. There's a lot of things like that where you make little tokens and Puppet Stitcher will make them bigger, take away drawbacks from them. It seems kind of good. Granted, most of the cards that do that are not blue, but, honestly, there are creature token decks in green, in white, in red, even in black. Blue, I think, does the fewest of the creature token shenanigans. I think this is a fun bleed over into blue for creature tokens. We got a foil Phantom Carriage, 6 mana, 4/4 flyer. When enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a card with flashback or disturb, put it in your graveyard, then shuffle. Neat, but I don't have a plan for it. Yeah, I guess there's also a lot of cards in this set that fit that criteria. Neat, but I don't have a plan for it. Because I'm not building the werewolves deck. I'm not building a zombies deck. I have a vampire deck, but the next set's supposed to be better for vampires, so I don't know. Neat art. Honestly, a set like this, I could have potentially invested more in it if I wanted to. This is kind of like the medium amount for me, because I like to have a good smattering of the commons and uncommons from every set that comes out, plus a fistful of rares, possibly lucking into a few that I want, trading for a few that I don't want. That's kind of how I'd like to run every set. And then on a set that I have a lot of confidence in, I might double down and get collector's booster box if I can afford it. I can't right now, but yeah, this is a common. Okay, Novice Occultist is pretty good for limited, I found. And for things like Shirei, Evolving Wilds, always nice to have another option for that. Moon Silver Key, I've been seeing people pretty high on this one, but I'm not convinced yet. I may be pretty high on it a year from now, but I'm being a little conservative right now. 2 mana for an artifact that does nothing. Then you spend an additional 1 mana, tap, and sack it. Search your library for an artifact card with a mana ability or a basic land. Reveal it and put it into your hand. So, typically, this is probably going to get you your Soul Ring. So it's 2 mana to cast, 1 tap and sack to activate. You go get your Soul Ring and you cast it for 1. In a more high-powered deck, you could get your Mana Crypt or your Mox Diamond. Something that costs 0. Chrome Mox. Lotus Petal? I don't know. You're investing 3 mana to go get 1. I would want to get a repeatable mana source, I would think. You can, of course, get a basic in a pinch. I don't know. I want to see other people playing it and then go like, whoa, you really got me with that one. Oh, also, I saw some people talking about combos with, I think it's Vadrik in this set, who's the red-blue wizard that says instants and sorceries you control cost X less, where X is this creature's power, and how you can go Lunar Frenzy in the middle of some big old combo. Lunar Frenzy, you might be able to subtract a few mana off of it from Vadrik already, and then you pump as much as you can into it, really. And then Vadrik becomes huge, gains First Strike and Trample, and then your spells cost a bajillion less, and then you can actually just go to combat with Vadrik, and now it's got First Strike, Trample, and a bajillion power. Heck yeah! That seems fun. Okay, got another one of these guys, don't really care. Gale Drifter, yeah, disturbs into a dead hippogriff from a live hippogriff. Burly Breaker, not quite the one I'm looking for. There is a big 6/6 werewolf that I am looking for. This is not it. It's a 6/5 after all. Wake to Slaughter. Okay, what does this do again? 5 mana sorcery. Choose up to 2 creature cards in your graveyard. An opponent chooses one of them. Return that one to your hand. Return the other one to the battlefield under your control. It gains haste. Exile at the beginning of the next end step. Okay, so it's resurrect 2 creatures. Your opponent chooses which one you get on the battlefield and which one you get in your hand. I mean, this is one of those kind of choose your own adventure, or choose your own fate. What is it called? A Punisher card? Where, in theory, it's a win-win for you. But your opponent will always choose whichever mode is least effective for you. It does have flashbacks, so you can do it twice. I don't know. I'm just not sure what to do with that. It's not clearly good. And we got a foil that's a trampling werewolf. Okay. Alright. And then what is the list? I know what the list is. It's a Teferi who slows the sunset and likes long walks along the beach. That's what the list is. It's a dating profile for Teferi. Or, I hear some people pronounce it Teferi, but I was like, why would it be pronounced Teferi? But then spelled like, why are they Teferi? Why would you pronounce the 2 E's differently? Why do you think that you put emphasis on the second syllable? The word fairy exists and is spelled nothing like that. I don't know. I've always figured it was Teferi. But, Teferi sounds like some cringy, leet speak, kind of internet ooh-woo thing. Navi is Teferi. This is really cool, though. This is really freaking cool. Dryad's Revival? Oh, okay. I mean, it depicts Ren and 8. But it's not Ren and 8's actual art. But that's still really cool. Planes. I want to see some foils of these. Blade Brand did me pretty good in Sealed. Voldaren Stinger is neat. Doesn't quite make the cut in my Vampire deck, as kind of previously alluded to. Moving things over a little bit for more space. Okay. Common. Oh, they did straight up make a jack-o'-lantern. Okay. Before this set came out, I was watching all the spoiler videos, but the spoiler videos mostly covered rares and mythics. You know, legends and things like that. There's so many commons and uncommons they just didn't mention at all. So I'm still seeing a lot of surprises among the commons and uncommons. They did make a literal jack-o'-lantern, huh? Alright, so I'm reading it for the first time here. 1 mana, and I'm seeing the, like, Avacyn collar symbol, but broken for a nose. And like moons for eyes. Okay. Is that a live person over there? Yeah, I think so. So that's a big-ass jack-o'-lantern. Artifact. 1 colorless, tap, sacrifice jack-o'-lantern, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard, draw a card. Or for 1, exile jack-o'-lantern from your graveyard, add 1 mana of any color. Huh. So 1 to cast, 1 in sack to exile a card and draw a card. 1 and exile it from your graveyard to add 1 mana of any color. That's pretty underwhelming. I don't know what you'd use that for. Storm Skrillex. Bang-a-rang, pow! That's Skrillex, right? 5 mana, 2/4 Drake Horror. With flying and instant sorcery spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Storm Skrillex gets +2/+0 until end of turn. I actually like this card a lot. I think it's really cool. I would love to play a deck where it is good. However, given that it costs 5 mana, it probably doesn't do anything. It's probably too slow in any of the formats where it would be impactful enough. So that's a shame. It's probably not that good, even though I really like it. Seize the Storm. Whoa, look at that art. The hell? Okay, who did this? Ooh. Derchenko Alexander. Okay, I think I got that. I think I want this as my desktop wallpaper for my computer. Holy God. That's awesome. Anyway, what does it do? 5 mana. Create a red elemental creature token with trample, and this creature's power and toughness are each equal to the number of instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, plus the number of cards with flashback you own in exile. Okay, so it has trample, which is excellent for a creature token that could be getting large, and it doesn't enter with a certain number of like +1/+1 counters, or as an XX token, where X is the number it had at the time. It has a variable power and toughness, which means that it can increase over time. You can cast this, make the elemental, and then you can cast more stuff on the next turn before you attack, and then that's how big it actually ends up being when you start using it. And it counts the number of cards with flashback you own in exile. So there's no drawback to actually flashbacking cards like this one. It still counts. I think very much like the Storm Skrillex, I like this card a lot. I think it's cool. I think it's powerful. But I worry at 5 mana, it's just going to be too late to be impactful in any format. I hope I'm wrong. I hope it's good. Visions of Dominance. So I believe this is one of the set booster pack exclusive cards, because there are a number, like, I don't know, 7 set booster pack exclusive cards that they gave the commander labeling to. Oh, wait, 38? I don't know. But they gave the commander labeling to, but they didn't put in the commander decks. They just put in set boosters, because Wizards does not want to sell 15 Magic cards for $4 anymore. They don't want you buying draft booster packs. They are too cheap. It creates this kind of baseline for Magic card value that is too low for them. They want cards to be more expensive. It's too easy entry point. $4 for 15 cards. Too much. So they want you to be buying set booster packs. I haven't bought a set booster pack individually before, so I don't remember how much they're going for. $6, $7, $8? I don't know. I've been buying boxes, but there's supposed to be more individually. So that's why they've been packaging them in boxes, where the draft booster packs look more expensive because they include more packs. And they look like a worse deal because the draft booster packs only come out on release day. Set booster packs come out earlier. And because they allocate way more set booster packs to stores than draft booster boxes. so that you could, pre-order, 5, 10 times as many set booster boxes as you could draft boxes. And then in these packs, they contain fewer actual Magic cards. But then one more thing to try to get you to buy these set booster packs instead of normal booster packs, which include things like a non-Magic card that's just a piece of art, and include things like, these, tips, some reprints and stuff. This is the newest gimmick to try to get you to buy set booster packs and forget that draft booster packs were ever a thing. Forget that you could ever buy 15 cards for $4 and possibly get some mythic foil that's the best in the set or something. They don't want your lottery tickets to be so cheap. They want to drive up the baseline. So now, is this going to do it? Not yet, but they're going to keep doing stuff like this. So, 3 mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, then double the number of +1/+1 counters on it. Flashback of 10, but this spell costs X less to cast this way, where X is the greatest mana value of a commander you own on the battlefield or in the command zone. Sad thing is, despite me just griping about this for multiple minutes, I guess, this card's really cool. I like the design of it a lot. It's really good in Commander. It's just pretty obvious that they were like, we could include this in the creature token, or the +1/+1 counter themed Commander deck, or last minute we'll pull it from there, and we'll put it in the set booster packs that we're trying to push. Just to screw with people. Pull it from the product that clearly belongs in and is made for, and put it in something else so that we force people to buy the wrong thing. Kind of like what happened with Brawl. How when they came out with the Brawl decks, they were like $20 precons, but they knew that not many people wanted to play Brawl. So they said that cards printed in this little side set were not going to be standard legal, but they were going to be legal in Commander. And they came up with this card, Arcane Signet, that's strictly better than every other mana rock at 2 mana, and continues to be to this day, and probably will be forever. And so, basically, every Commander deck needs to be playing Arcane Signet. And so you need to buy as many of these Brawl decks as possible in order to get your Arcane Signets, because the only place we're putting them. They're going to have the Throne of Eldraine set symbol on it, but they will not be in the set. Unless you buy collector's boosters, then there's a small chance. So, what's that? You're not interested in Brawl? We knew you weren't interested in Brawl. But you're interested in Commander, aren't you? So if you're interested in Commander, you have to buy the Brawl product. And sure, maybe we'll solve this problem in 6 months. We'll put them in the actual Commander decks. We'll, sprinkle them in here and there in other places. Sure, we'll solve the problem eventually. But in the short term, we're going to sell Brawl decks like they're going out of style. And then they did. And then they acted all surprised. Like, whoopsie, we sold out of Brawl decks. We didn't realize y'all like Brawl so much. And we're all like, face palming. We don't like Brawl that much. We don't. You just put a Commander product, a Commander card that some of us need in a Brawl product, so we have to buy it, or other people have to buy it so that we can buy it on the secondary market. Same thing here with the set booster packs. This card is really good, and for some strategies that are involving +1/+1 counters, I'm thinking of Marath, I'm thinking of Skullbriar, where you really love to be doubling the number of +1/+1 counters on your commander. It's like one of the best spells ever printed. And, can't get it anywhere but set boosters, or on the secondary market for someone else who bought set boosters. So, there goes my rant about that. Let's speed up here a little bit. Delver of Secrets, that card's really cool. Glad to see it back. It's going to be dominant. Briarbridge Tracker, 3 mana, 2/3, Vigilance. When enters the battlefield, investigate. As long as you control a token, it gets +2/+0. Neat. I like it. It's neatish. Bramble Armor, not particularly neat, but I got a foil of it. And we got a checklist card. Cool. Don't really play without sleeves anymore, and not like anyone can draft these set booster packs anyway. So these things mostly exist for draft, right? Because in Standard, who the heck doesn't sleeve their deck? In Draft, you know, you probably sleeve your deck too if you can, but maybe you don't. Oh, wow. It's really well drawn. Locked in the Cemetery. Yeah, but you can't draft a set booster pack because it doesn't have a set number of actual magical cards in it. Some packs will have more. Some packs will have more than one rare. It's inherently unfair. So why are they giving me checklist cards? I don't know. Oh, we got a vampire. 3 mana 2/2 Vampire Rogue. At the beginning of your end step, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on target vampire you control. That's a little bit tempting, actually. It's a little bit tempting. 3 mana for a 2/2, though, that's a little weak. I do kind of have a thing going on where I would like to have more rogues and other party tribes in my deck. Still, it's a big ask to have like no form of evasion, no menace, no flying. Look at this lady. Look at this lady look like she's flying backwards off of this, rooftop here. I guess her toes technically touching the ground, or the roof. But she's going to die unless she has flying, and she doesn't have flying. So, with House Voldaren Ascendant, some members of the Stormkirk line took it upon themselves to borrow from the Blood Tithes. Okay. Blood Tithe Collector. 5 mana. There's another vampire. This one's a noble. This one does have flying, but at 5 mana, you're probably not going to make the cut. When it enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, each opponent discards a card. Oh yeah, so they've included the Bloodthirst mechanic on a lot of vampires in this set, but they didn't actually use the word Bloodthirst, so I'm kind of miffed about that. Why, if they are going to return Bloodthirst, so they're not going to actually call it Bloodthirst? I've seen them do stuff like that on like one-off cards, like how there's this new blue card that surveils but doesn't say surveil. But they include this on like 8 vampires, so just bring back Bloodthirst. And it's not like Bloodthirst even takes any text off of the cards. It strictly makes things simpler, not more complex. Anyway, this card's sick, and I love it. I mean, I better like Rem Carolus, because I got 2 different versions of him, but thankfully I do. I think he's really cool. So, but give me more of this for different cards, huh? Okay. Dawnheart Mentor, 3 mana, 0/4. Enters the battlefield, create a white human, Coven, and 6. +3/+3, gains Tremble till end of turn. Doesn't seem that good. Shade Traveler, we've been over you. Godar, Ghoul Caller of Nathalia. I was kind of low on this guy. I didn't think he was that good. But Seth from MTG Goldfish says it's actually pretty good in like limited and standard. So good for him. I'm still not very high on it, honestly. It's fine, I'm sure. It's just that the tokens that it make have decayed, so they can't block, and you can only attack with them once. You only make them on your turn. Only at your end step, so you have to wait a turn before you can use them. And it's a 2 mana 1/1 that does this. It just seems like there's a lot of waiting around before you do anything with it. And then what you do is not that impactful. I attack you for 2. I block it with a 2/3. Oh, whoops. I attack you for 2. I take 2 and don't care. I sack a food and gain the life back, or I just... I play a land to deal 2 damage to myself, because who cares about 2 damage? Oh, this card is very pretty. No, love this art. Candle Grove Witch. Yep. They put her on the Collector's Booster packs. Forest. Vampire. This one's also tempting. 4 mana. When enters the battlefield, it adds 3 red, but only if an opponent lost life this turn. But I kind of want, like, what's the best of these cards? And I'm not sure I've seen it yet. What's the best of the pseudo Bloodthirst vampires in this set that they just didn't label Bloodthirst because they have the, in my opinion, incorrect assumption that the more keywords show up in this set, the more complicated a set is. Whereas I think keywords simplify, streamline a set, make it easier to keep track of what cards have similar mechanics and what to call them. As long as you don't actually cut any words, just keep it in the italic sense, all fine. It's all good. But they have like a mandate on how many keywords they are allowed to include in a set. And so they'll often go like, let's include Bloodthirst. Oh, but we've already hit our quota for keyword abilities for this set. I guess we'll include Bloodthirst, but just not call it Bloodthirst. I know that like keywords are inherently helpful for helping people memorize things and keep track of sets of cards that do similar mechanics within and between sets, but we have a quota, so no, that's just dumb. That's just someone thinking too far inside the box. Thermo Alchemist is cool. I just skipped it, but Cathartic Pyre, 2 mana, does 3 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Discard up to 2 cards, then draw that many cards. I mean, seems good. Actually, seems good. Once again, for limited, for standard, stuff like that. Bird Admirer. I've heard people joking about this card. Bird Admirer, and then Wing Shredder, because I like birds. For eating. I think that's the summary of the joke. Outland Liberator, 2 mana, 2/2, for 1, and sack it, destroy an artifact or enchantment. That, right there, seems pretty good. And it's daybound. It flips into Frenzied Trapbreaker. You can still do the thing, that's good. But also when it attacks you, destroy an artifact or enchantment of any player controls. This card actually seems excellent. This is like Elvish Reclaimer. No. Reclamation Sage? That's what I'm thinking of. It's like Reclamation Sage. Except you can play it as a kind of like Rattlesnake card. You can play it for cheaper and then just have it sitting out there with the 1 extra mana around. And then if somebody goes by a turn without playing any spells, flip it around. Oof. Now you got the 3/3. And then you can blow up multiple things. I think this is actually really good. And I bet it's going to be an overlooked card for Commander because it does have the daybound mechanic on it. People are going to sleep on it. But I'm telling you right now, I bet that card's really good. And worth playing in decks that otherwise don't care about werewolves. This enters the battlefield. Destroy target creature that you don't control that was dealt damage this turn. Death Touch. If Coda's Geist will be put into a graveyard from anywhere, exile it instead. Oh, it's got Disturb. This is a black Disturb card. For some reason, I thought this was like Nightbound, Daybound. But honestly, talk about the confusion here. They use the sun and moon symbols on every card that transforms in this set, regardless of how it transforms. Some of them are werewolves with Daybound. Some of them are non-werewolves with Daybound. Some of them have Disturb. Some of them have none of these things, but they're all represented by the same symbol, and that's why it's confusing. Light Up the Night. X and a red. Light Up the Night deals X damage to any target. It deals X plus 1 damage instead if that target is a creature or a planeswalker. Okay. Flashback for remove X loyalty counters from among planeswalkers you control. If you cast this spell this way, X can't be 0. I mean, a fireball with flashback that does extra damage to creatures. This seems actually really good. Loyal Griff is a foil. 3 mana, 2/2, flash flying. Enters the battlefield, you may return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. Seems good. Hold on. Woo! Loyal Griff, I like it. And a minigame card. Okay, nothing from the list so far. I was told I thought that the average is 1 in every 4 packs include something from the list, and we are 6 packs in so far, so I have not been very lucky. But that's what all of this is. It is luck. And, you know, I realized that I could come across from some of these gripes and rants and stuff that I've had here as kind of bitter, complainy about this set, about wizards and stuff like that. But another way of looking at it is I love Magic the Gathering. I like talking about it. I like playing it. I'm probably going to be playing it tomorrow. I was playing it yesterday. I want this game to be the best that it can be. And I constantly want the design to get better, the play experience to get better, for everyone to have, you know, the most fun with it that they can. And also for the company that makes it to not be so greedy, to not be so predatory. You know, I want the game to be welcoming to new players, both socially and financially. I want to teach more people how to play this game and to not have to come up with caveats like, well, it's not that expensive if you play just this way, as long as you don't care about winning any tournaments or anything. You know, I complain because I love this game and I want it to be its best self. And I think that we do that by continuing to have conversations like this, and to be vocal in places where Wizards of the Coast can see it, to speak with our money, to buy more of things that we like and less of things that we don't like. That seems kind of obvious, but you know, try not to get exclusively caught up in the hype, because there's constant hype. You've seen it. There's constant, non-stop, excessive hype for every set that's coming out every month. Curse of Leeches. Don't much love this card. Moving on. Burn the Accursed. It's my foil. That card's torn. It's an ooze on the other side. That's neat. Okay. But, you know, I probably shouldn't be dwelling too much on each individual pack here. You know, just like someone goes to a casino, and you go to a casino, you know that you're kind of being taken advantage of. It's supposed to be fun. And I've never found casino games to be fun, personally. So I don't do it. But I do find Magic to be fun. And I even do enjoy opening packs, and I like talking about them. But yeah, maybe I need to speed it up a little bit in order to not dwell so much on every pull of the lever, as it were. However, what is this? 3 mana, 3/3 trample haste? That seems sick. If it's neither day nor night, it becomes day. Whenever day becomes night or night becomes day, put a +1/+1 counter on entire creature you control. This seems really cool. Wow. Sunset Revelry. I've been hearing people talk about this card. This card is really good in multiple formats. Really more the competitive formats, not so much the Commander, the one that I play, but it's cool, and it's white. And, oh no. Oh no. Why? Why'd you have to give this to me? Look at this huge, legendary, mythic rare artifact. Do I need to talk about it? I've talked about it on the internet. I mean, okay, first off, this is one of the, like, Commander set cards, right? Commander set cards? But it's one of the set booster exclusives, so they didn't put it in the Commander set. Second off, this is the exact same mana cost as Avacyn herself. Has Indestructible, like Avacyn has. Gives other permanents you control Indestructible, like Avacyn does. Except, it says other legendary permanents you control. So it limits that down to just, you might have 0 other legendary permanents. You might have just a couple that this protects, as opposed to Avacyn, which protects all your stuff. Avacyn costs the same amount of mana, and is the same rarity, and is legendary. And regularly gets cheated out. And is an 8/8. A humongous, terrifying, impactful, game-ending creature with flying for evasion and vigilance, so you never think twice about just attacking with her nonstop. That is the same mana cost as Avacyn's Memorial, which protects a small portion of your own creatures. It's probably harder to cheat out. Not impossible, of course, people will do it. This card is garbage. Hot garbage. It is way too much mana. And even if you jump through all the hoops, even if you cheat it, it's only good in Legends Matter decks, which aren't always white, even though they often are. And Legend Matters decks, I don't think want to play this either, because it costs too much mana. You can't cheat it out with the new Captain Sisay. It's 1 mana too much to do that. Why is it 8 mana for an artifact that just says, stop messing with my stuff? It doesn't win the game. It doesn't deal damage. It doesn't block. It doesn't attack. It doesn't do anything on its own. And it's 8 mana, including triple white. Why? Compare this to Privileged Position that costs triple green-white hybrid and 2 colorless. And it gives all your other permanents hexproof. That's right, all your other permanents, not just the legendary ones. Sure, it doesn't count itself, but then you've got to get some artifact or enchantment destruction before you can get anything else. And hexproof can be very useful in other situations, like Path to Exile shows up, Swords to Plowshares shows up, Anguished Unmaking, freaking Bounce, Flicker. Do people play those in Commander? Do people play Path or Swords in Commander? I don't know. That's... I mean, Path or Swords would get around this. This protects you from board wipes, and maybe you're the one playing the board wipes, but you have 1,000 other things that do that, from Teferi's Protection to Ghostly Procession, End of Semester, I think, Ghostway, a million other things to give all your creatures indestructible until end of turn that help you against a board wipe, or just Avacyn. Why would you ever play this over Avacyn itself? Well, because this card is worthless. It probably actually should be worth like 50 cents, whereas Avacyn is very expensive. Is that why? Alright. So, if we're talking about comparing it to a Privileged Position, 2 colorless, and then triple, and sure, it's hybrid, so you can play it in 2 different colors, but honestly, I think this card would have been fair at 3 colorless and 3 white. That's not just 1 mana, but 2 mana less than what's currently printed at, and I'm still not sure anyone would play it. And I actually got into an argument with one of the designers at Wizard of the Coast on Twitter about it, because it was someone else who's actually like a big name who was complaining about it, and then a WotC employee responded to them. I responded to the WotC employee, who then replied back to me. So I did kind of get a little bit of back and forth with an actual WotC employee who said that they find some powerful effects that white does to be unfun, and then make them more expensive so that they hope to see them less often. That's why white sucks. You've been asking for years why white is the worst color in Commander. It's because of that. Wrath of Gods, Armageddons, indestructible stuff, life gain, damage prevention, all the things that white are good at are unfun. And so, when they're playtesting, they see stuff like this, and they're like, nah, let's tack an extra colorless or 2 onto it so that we'll never see it. And then the game will become more fun because people won't be playing white, and white is the color of no fun. That's what it is. Rather than, like, why don't we design some fun white cards? We'd have to change the color pie a little bit. Yeah, the color pie is sacred. We don't want to mess with that. Well, what if, what's fun for one person might not be fun for another person, but, what if we make the thing just, like, a little bit more expensive, but then make it more powerful to match up for that? So if you're going to spend 8 mana on something, you get something really impactful. Or what if what if the white cards that are powerful actually like end the game, rather than destroying all creatures, destroying all lands, gaining a billion life, preventing all the damage, making everything indestructible. You notice all those things just prolong a game. Why don't we start thinking of ways that white can do a powerful thing that wraps up a game? Can't think of any way of doing that. Let's just keep designing what we're used to designing, and when we see a card that we think is powerful in white, we just add a couple more mana to it so no one plays it. And then white continues to be bad forever. Ha ha ha. And the complaint that people have heard is, oh, white's just not good at drawing cards. Or white's not good at ramp. That's true. White's terrible at those things too. But it's starting to get better at those things, actually. In the last couple of years, there have been a number of cards printed that go a long way towards solving that problem. So white's almost on track with the other colors now in that regard. But still, every set, multiple cards are designed that they just tack a couple extra mana onto because they just don't know how to balance them otherwise. It sucks. Avacyn's Memorial sucks. Can't Stay Away is cool. I like this card. There's so many kitties on it. Even a ghost kitty in the middle. It's really good. I play it in a Luris deck in Arena. A zombie token. Oh, okay, I'm kind of exhausted from that rant. I've been over and over it. And I've been saying it for a while, actually. Ever since Wizards of the Coast did a YouTube video about a year ago in the style of the like Wired magazine. I think their video series about like blank support, like physics support, chemistry support, like it's tech support but for different things. And then they softball a bunch of questions to somebody about a topic who's an expert, and then they give fun little Twitter responses and they videotape that, and that's all well and good. I'm kind of patronizing here a little bit, but it's actually a fun series and it's pretty good. Bill Nye's been on it, Jackie Chan's been on it, good stuff. And then Wizards did their own, and I'm pretty sure it was not affiliated with that channel at all, just completely rips off their style, steals their whole gig. And they even called it Magic Support, when literally Penn Jillette did one that he called Magic Support. They didn't call it Magic the Gathering Support or anything, but okay. And then one of the questions they asked is, why isn't white good? And then they answered a completely different question, it seemed. Go back and watch the video. I think Matt Tabak's in that one. And the question that he answers is, why doesn't people like white? Oh, because it's too good, is what he says. Because it's too good? Oh yeah, whenever people get beaten by a white card, it gives them like feel-bads. When people lose to a Wrath of God or an Armageddon or Avacyn or, something... all their stuff becomes indestructible, or destroy all lands or something, or prevent all the damage. People get salty when they lose to Circle of Protection and stuff like that. So that's why people don't like white, because it's too strong. Like, excuse me? You missed the mark entirely on that one, and you're a Wizard of the Coast employee. Because once again, I got a feeling that these designers, in testing, over and over again, design powerful white cards that do stuff like that do Armageddon, that do Circle of Protection, that do Avacyn, that do, Wrath of God, and then they keep being powerful but not fun. And they've been so focused on making every single card fun these days. And fun means like bigger and more bombastic, like boom pow, more damage, big numbers. Then whenever you prevent something from happening, God forbid counter a spell, it's no fun. So they have to make the counter spells bad, and they have to make the white cards bad, and they do it over and over again. But their thinking is that white cards are too powerful, I assume because they keep seeing them in the Future League where they're doing all this testing. But the white cards that we get suck. And they're worthless, and they're useless, and they don't create, like, cohesive decks for us to build around to actually get to the state that you're referring to. Maybe you're thinking of back in 1993 when people were playing Sarah Angel and Ivory Tower. But that's not Magic in 2021 or 2020 or 2019. Hasn't been in a long time. So get out of your ivory tower, look at the games of Magic that people are actually playing, the complaints that they actually have, and address those. White is not too powerful. You're just designing unfun cards, putting them in white, and you're being inflexible. And you keep nerfing the white cards, but printing them. So we keep seeing lots and lots of sucky white cards that do effects that we don't even like, and then they cost too much mana on top of it. Rite of Harmony. It's a 2-mana instant. Whenever a creature or enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, this turn draw a card. I kind of wanted to skate right past this just because I wanted to keep moving on cards, but honestly, this card is excellent. It's really cool, really good. Anyway, Electric Revelation, that's cool. But, hey, I got something from the list, and it's Lich Lord of Unks. A creature that probably should have been legendary, but it was before Commander was a really big thing. Blue-black tap, put a 1/1 blue and black zombie wizard creature token into play. 2 blue, 2 black, target player loses 2 X life and puts the top X cards of their library into their graveyard, where X is the number of zombies you control. This card is really good in like a zombie mill deck, which I wanted to be a thing, but I don't think they've actually printed a blue-black zombie commander that cares about mill. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but like blue-black zombie mill exists on like 5 blue zombie cards, and none of them are commanders or add up to a commander deck. You just have like 5 one-off effects, all in their own, some including Lich Lord of Unks, who, considering they are the Lich Lord of Unks, that seems like a title. Like this should be Joe, Lich Lord of Unks. The art certainly could have been unique enough. Also, am I the only one who's really, like, kind of, maybe I'm triggered by this, I don't know. So the little Planeswalker symbol in here means it's from the list, or Mystery Boosters. And in both cases, they just took the original save file they had for these cards, they added a little bit in the corner and put them out exactly as is, when there's Oracle text for these cards. And the Oracle text is supposed to tell you what cards actually do, with modern terms, the words that make sense with the current rules. And normally, and back in the day, the only way of getting a updated wording on a card was to get a new physical card to you. That if your old Dark Ritual said it was a mana source, and your even older one says it's an interrupt, you got to buy a new one that says that it's an instant. You got to open it in a pack. You know, until we all started having smartphones on us and can look things up. But now they're doing a lot of reprints, a lot of reprints in their favorite product, set booster packs, and also in mystery boosters. And then they just don't update the Oracle text. Look, I get if some people like the old frames, which this is not. But, you know, maybe it doesn't have the bit at the bottom, so it's technically old frames now. It's 8th edition frames instead of M15 or whatever. But why not create a token instead of putting it into play? Why not update to the Oracle text so you don't have to look it up online and you have a new physical card? There'd be a reason to buy this card over the old card. As it is, this card is probably worthless or next to worthless because the old one exists. I think I've got 4 copies of the old one. Nobody wants to play it because you can't build a zombie mill deck because they didn't make a commander that does it. Because that one should have been a commander, but they saw Legend as a drawback back then. And they can fix some of their mistakes. They can make things better. They can print cards with updated Oracle text, so the cards make sense and work within the current context of the rules. But they just... they're so likely to screw things up, it seems. I think that somebody's afraid to hit backspace in an editor on a card because they might leave off something important. Like how they did actually mess with the mana symbols on some of these Mystery Booster cards, and then they ended up with the wrong white mana symbol on a whole set worth of them. That said, this foil island I just opened is one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. After I've lingered on a number of gripes here, like, oh, they gave me a free extra rare in my booster pack, I'm so mad. I'm like, God damn, this is beautiful. Alright. That's amazing, and I love it. That's fine. This is what a lot of people are saying is the best card in the set. Granted, for like Modern or Legacy or something like that, not for Commander or maybe even for Standard. But the first part, look at the top card of your library, you may put that card in your graveyard. That is literally Surveil 1, but then they didn't put it in here because it would only be on this one card. Now, granted, if they reprint it, another set that had Surveil in it already, like a Return to Ravnica, then they would just say Surveil on here. As it stands, though, there are a lot of cards that, even in the Oracle text, have identical Oracle text to stuff like this, and that they just don't have keywords when other ones do. And in theory, the mechanical difference is there could be a enchantment or a legendary creature that says, whenever you surveil, gain a life. And this one technically doesn't surveil. Well, maybe it should have. Maybe it should have. Personally, I see Magic as a game that has existed for, 30 years. And I like to think broadly like that, and to design cards that fit into the 30 years of Magic, more so than exclude it. And you got to be careful about that kind of thing, but I feel like they've been too careful in the opposite direction, too cautious, and have missed a lot of opportunities that make the designs worse for long-term players. Oh well. God, I keep griping. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I made this video no fun because I keep griping about stuff. Then they come up with cards like Burn Down the House, and then I have myself a good little time. 5 mana for a sorcery, deals 5 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. That's pretty good. And there have been a lot of cards in red that are, sorceries that cost a good chunk of mana, and then they do a good chunk of damage to everything, and everybody dies. But then, if your opponent's playing a creatureless deck, or a nearly creatureless deck, or if you're playing a deck that just happens to, at the moment, have more creatures than they do, these cards are kind of worthless, and you gotta swap them in and out of your sideboard. And I believe I heard Melissa DeTora actually designed this card, and she had the idea of, okay, what if we made a card like that did something in that other situation, so it was never useless. Create 3/1/1 red devil creature tokens with, when they die, deal 1 damage to any target. That's pretty sweet and fits along the scale of other cards that have made these devil tokens before, that when they die they deal damage. I think those are cool tokens. What's this? They gain haste until end of turn. Wow! This card's really good. I like it. It's not like busted or anything. It's not like the best card ever. I'm not sure where or if I'm going to play it, but I love this design. So, I've talked about sometimes I feel like I'm a little too negative. Sometimes I feel like, I'm just complaining all the time. But to be honest, for every terrible design like this, there's a couple of pretty good designs and one what I would call a great design. I feel like this is a great design. I don't know if it's a great card, like in terms of power level or whatever like that, or competitive viability, but I think it's a great design. So it would be nice if it wasn't always the white cards that get the bad designs. That would be nice. But to look on the bright side, yeah, there are a lot more good designs in Magic than bad designs. Because for the most part, the designers of Wizards of the Coast are some of the most experienced, talented, intelligent, creative people out there. The only reason why I have complaints really are because Hasbro, I feel like, has been pushing them harder and harder to be more greedy with their product lineup, with the set boosters and stuff like that, pushing more stuff that way, and B, to put up more products in a year with basically the same number of staff, so each one person is having to do a lot more work and pump out more designs in a shorter amount of time, so they don't have as much time to test things. They end up taking shortcuts and, being like, well, I need to just make sure that this isn't broken, so I'll just add another mana onto it just in case. We don't have time to test it thoroughly. Also, I love this card, Falcon Abomination. I also hate it. Look at that face. I hate that face. This is ugly as hell. This is gross, and I hate it. But also, notice, it's a zombie bird, because this is the head of a zombie man and a bird swapped around. And this is the bird, I guess. When it enters the battlefield, you make a 2/2 black zombie creature token with Decayed. Yeah, because that's a messed up, old-looking zombie. This guy didn't die today. His eyes are all glassed over and stuff. Blech. It's gross. The foulest foul indeed. But I like that it's a 3-mana 2/2 flyer that makes another body. It seems really strong for limited, possibly for other formats. And then just the flavor of, this guy has a falconer's glove, and the bird has the little traces as if this was the falconer and that was the falcon. And then some twisted mad scientist decided to just swap their heads after he died. That's a whole story. See, creative, talented designers clearly flexing on all of us. It's really cool. Broodweaver. Boy, Giant Spider is sad, because it's just strictly better than Giant Spider. Well, that's okay. Giant Spider was always a little underwhelming, and now... okay. I shouldn't say something like that. Giant Spider was a stalwart, I guess, for a long time. I'm okay with the card being a little better than Giant Spider. Reckless Stormseeker. This guy's cool. I keep thinking that jetpack means he's going to fly. It totally does not mean he's going to fly. He crashes, but he's going fast. So he gets haste on both sides. Seems alright. Foil, Revenge of the Drowned. Oh! We got a card from the list, and it's a common from Dominaria from 2018. They just... When it's kicked, return this sorcery card. Okay, so I just took a draft common from 3 years ago and just threw it in this pack as my bonus. Could have been a Mythic Rare that's worth $40. And they're like, no, we got G2 Chronicler kicking around. Draft chaff. Well, someone just left this on the table. We'll put it in a set booster box. That'll be your 1 in 4 packs prize. Surprise! It's a common. From Pioneer. That no one plays in any format. Wasn't even that good in draft. I like this art though. Wait, get it in focus for you. There you go. Forest. Drownyard Amalgam. Zombie Horror. Ugh, horror indeed. What the hell? Blah. Target player mills 3. Can't be blocked this turn. 5 mana. It's kind of clunky. Flare of the Faith. Blessed Defiance. Turn the Earth. That's neat. Winterthorn Blessing. 2 mana sorcery. Put a pulse on counter on up to 1 target creature you control. Tap up to 1 target creature you don't control. And that creature doesn't untap during its control's next untap step. Flashback. Seems alright. Dawnheart Rejuvenator, not a fan. Ecstatic Awakener, I am a fan. This is my first one of those in this box, I think, which is weird because in my pre-release kit I got 2 normals and a foil of this, and it was really good. The important thing to keep in mind, everybody, the thing that I forgot, See what it says? Draw a card. Don't forget to draw the card. Drawing cards is good. It's bad when you have an ability that says draw a card and then you just don't. And you go the rest of the game and then you lose. And then you realize that you missed 2 different chances to draw a card. Don't do that. Don't be like me. Mask of Gristlebrand. I think I remember this not being that good. 3 mana to cast, 3 to equip. Equipped creature gets flying and lifelink. Whenever a equipped creature dies, you may pay X life, where X is its power. If you do, draw X cards. Yeah, it doesn't add power or toughness to the creature. 3 to cast and 3 to equip is kind of rough, and double black is kind of rough. It doesn't seem that good. I mean, you know, you draw X cards, but you lose X life. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, we got a foil Mythic Angel. 5 mana, 3/3 flyer. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return up to 2 target creature cards with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Okay, so I've heard some people saying this is a fixed, or rather worse, Revel Arc. And, yeah, that's probably accurate. It's still a Mythic Rare Angel. I don't know if it's going to do something in Standard. Maybe it will. I think it's cool that I got a foil Mythic Rare. Not one I would have asked for. In fact, quick recap. The most valuable cards in the set are the 3 Planeswalkers and the Meat Hook Massacre and the Blue Commander. And also the lands are all worth a little something. $5 each. I've gotten none of that. What's the most valuable card that I've pulled so far? Anything that's in the top 10. I think Poppet Stitcher is $6. The alternate art version of Rem might be $5. Yeah, so far I'm getting reamed in terms of value here. No, I got 1 foil basic. That's nice. I got the 1 foil mythic, but I don't think that mythic is worth anything really. The adversaries are all pretty good. They're all like $5+ Haven't drawn any of those. So far we are doing bad in terms of value. I need a Planeswalker. I need more of the like black and white style cards. Those would be nice. Yeah, Rootcoil Creeper is actually pretty good. Venom Carriage is alright. Tireless Homer. Yeah, okay. Clay Grift. I think this one's a couple dollars, but not much. I already have one from my pre-release kit, so far the most valuable card that I've gotten is one that I got in my pre-release kit, and possibly the second most valuable card that I've gotten is one that I got in my pre-release kit. So still doing bad there. Foil Common. Cool. Very waxy feeling. And I got another card from the list. It is Rend Flesh. Destroy a target non-spirit creature. Once again, we got kind of just like a common from back in the day that's worth like $0.25. I think maybe $1 at most. Target non-spirit creature does cover a lot of creatures. It does have the added type of Arcane, which is almost flavor text. I did also collect a lot of Champions of Kamigawa, so I do have like 8 of those already. Yeah. Another kind of missed opportunity there for something genuinely cool. Okay. Ooh. Well, I can't draw an adversary to save my life, but I can draw a gold signed art card, which I believe 1 in 10 art cards are supposed to be gold signed, and that makes them actually potentially valuable, like $1 or $2, as opposed to the normal value of like $0.25. So yeah, Plains, Startle, tapping at the window, Faithful Mending. I think that card's actually pretty cool. This one, Ominous Roost is kind of cool too. Brutal Cathar. Okay, hey, there's a showcase style rare here. Let me remember what this one does. 3 mana, 2/2 werewolf. It's a white werewolf? Not many of those. When this creature enters the battlefield or transforms into Brutal Cathar, exile target creature an opponent controls until this creature leaves the battlefield. Daybound. Oh, I remember this. Okay, then first striking 3/3 with ward, pay 3 life, and Nightbound. This card is actually really cool. And I had a mono-white Golos deck that I was playing up until it got banned last week. And I say mono-white Golos, despite Golos being a 5-color commander, because I was playing a lot of hybrid cards. Because I think it's BS that hybrid cards can't be played in monocolor decks, because they don't inherently break any color pie rules. Otherwise, they wouldn't be hybrid. You can play them in any other format. They've made arguments about how the rules in Commander should be more similar to normal Magic than different, and that's a way that they're different for seemingly no good reason. It's just confusing and makes a card that you can cast not work for some reason. And Brutal Cathar is the same way. This is a white card you can cast only with white mana in white decks, but because it becomes red on the back, with a tiny, barely noticeable little red dot down there, this is only legal in decks that are red and white. So I could play this in my Golos mono-white deck, because that deck is trying to get, is trying to do a mono-white go-wide, where as many effects as possible are put on creatures, on bodies, that can be useful in combat. Because I've got lots of anthems, but even the anthems are creatures. So I'm trying to have my removal spells being creatures. Your Skyclave, whatever, your Fiend Hunters, stuff like that. So this is perfect up that alley. And then it has a potential to be stronger than the other ones, because it can flip into this little stronger body with the ward and the first strike. That's cool. It would be one of my few red creatures in the mono-white deck, and there'd be an excuse for it. And then if you flip it back, you could exile a second thing. This seems amazing. But they banned Golos, so I can't play it in that, and then you can't play it in any other mono-white decks, so I guess it's garbage. Anyway, Harvest-Tide Infiltrator is some common I don't care about. Bird Admirer is, some common I don't care about. Unnatural Growth. I believe this is the most valuable card that I've pulled so far, because it's worth like $7. This card is amazing. So, colorless green, 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 green. I think that should make it pretty solidly in the green decks. Not splashing green for this. At the beginning of each combat, double the power and toughness of each creature you control until end of turn. God, that is exciting. That is powerful. Each creature you control, double it. Power and toughness. And at the beginning of each combat. I thought that this card was great before I realized that it counts your opponent's combat steps as well. That on your turn, sure, your stuff is buffed and it's huge and it's amazing. But on your opponent's turns too, it buffs all your creatures when they're just blocking. This card is so good. It's not even mythic. Wow. And then Celestial Sanctifier is my foil. It's whatever. And a Spire Token. Okay, well, I hope that by an hour and 18 minutes into this video, where I've had a number of rants, for better or for worse, that you can see and agree with me that I have feelings. I have strong feelings about Magic. I have a lot to say, and that it's not all bad. I can get extremely happy about something, and I can get extremely bothered by something. And I got another foil basic land, and it's amazing, and I love these. Oh, that's awesome. Where did I put the last one? With the other basics or with the foils? I don't know. I'll sort it out later. Oh, wait, I put it with the other foils. Cool, I'll do that too. Candle Trap. Oh, Stuffed Bear, not very good. Bounding Wolf. Give him the kick! Pax Betrayal, very sad. Some uncommons, Vivisection. Bleh. Tireless Hauler. I'm tired of them. Bereaved Survivor. Whenever another creature you control dies, transform it. Oh yeah, I like the flavor on this one because it's kind of a flavor fail. So it's a 3-mana 2/1, neat, human peasant. yeah, whenever another creature you control dies, transform it. So it's like, with the flavor text. With Avacyn gone, I no longer knew who to pray to. Alone, I wept for a sister who would never return. So when her sister dies, that's when her sister's already dead. But it triggers when a creature dies. So would another creature have to die? A creature had to die in order for her to become the survivor, because that's what a survivor is, and she's weeping at a grave. So a creature had to die before she came out, but then another creature dies in order to transform her. Whatever. But then she becomes the Dauntless Avenger. It was Sigarda who lifted me from despair and gave me the strength to fight on. Ah, yes, because you miss your sister so much, who is dead and in that grave. If only there was something that could be done for your poor dead sister. After all, we know that in a world of magic, there's nothing that can be done for the dead. Anyway, what's your rules text? Whenever Dauntless Avenger attacks, return target creature card with mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, tapped and attacking. Oh, so you can literally resurrect your sister and bring her back into battle. So, this could have said, like, boy, I was sad when my sister died, but then Sigarda taught me the magic, and now she's back, and I'm no longer sad because she's alive again and fighting with me, fighting by my side. Like, she doesn't have to be sad anymore. I don't know. Oh, Kessig Naturalist. This one has a puppy. 2 mana, human werewolf, 2/2. When it attacks, add a red or a green. Until end of turn, don't lose this mana. Subsequent phases end. Love it. Flips into Lord of the Ulvenwald. And the puppy grows up. Other wolves and werewolves you control get +1/+1. Whenever Lord of Ulvenwald attacks, add a red or a green. It doesn't disappear. I think this card's great, and I love it, and I love the design, and I love the puppy. Wonderful. And then I did actually get one of the adversaries. Now, I was saying earlier that there's one vampire in this set that actually makes the cut for my vampire deck, and this is a Mythic Rare. It's got haste. It's a 2 mana 2/2. It doesn't make the cut. Because those stats alone, I wouldn't play in my vampire deck, because it doesn't have evasion. It doesn't have any late game effect. And you would say, oh no, but it does have a late game effect. You can pump an extra 3 mana into it, making it a 5 mana 3/3. And then when it enters the battlefield, you exile that many instant sorcery cards with a mana value of 3 or less from your graveyard, and then copy them. Except that deck has next to no spells that would target, and it's certainly not relevant to the theme. So, but it is a pretty good card. Somewhat valuable. I don't know, at least $5. So that's good. And we got a foil showcase card, the Hound Tamer. Is that's somehow not the same guy as Kessig Naturalist? Okay. It's another guy with a puppy. 3 mana 3/3 Trampler. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. Daybound. Flip it over. Untamed Pup. It's a trampling 4/4. Other wolves and werewolves you control have trample. Put +1/+1 counter on target creature. See, those last couple seem like pretty good werewolves, actually. Oh, and this is a cool bat. Cool bat token. See, a lot of the werewolves that we've seen, I think, suck. A lot of them are really underwhelming, overcosted, and they're standard legal commons. You're just gonna see a lot of that. What can you do? It's Mothman, or the Moth from the Tick. So yeah, it's just, there's a lot of commons and uncommons that just aren't that good. But then occasionally you see a good one. Okay, Evolving Wilds, Clear Shot, I like that quite a bit. Field of Ruin I like quite a bit. Fading Hope, turn target creature to its owner's hand. If its mana value was 3 or less, scry 1. Well, this is strictly better unsummon. I love it. And then we got multiple of these showcase cards. This one's got Coven, 3 mana 3/3, Vigilance. If you have Coven, in the beginning of combat, creatures you control get +1/+0. Don't like this guy very much. Geist Flame Reservoir. I think I've looked over this card and it's like a little bit clunky from every direction. foil locked in the cemetery is neat. And I got another card from the list. This one's Nathalia Academy. It's not a good sign that I don't remember what this card does. Let's see. If a spell or ability an opponent controls causes you to discard a card, you may reveal that card and put it on top of your library instead of putting it anywhere else. Tap for a colorless. So you play this, and then your opponent's like, if I cause you to discard a card, you can put it back on top of your library. And then they choose to do it anyway. Is the idea that your opponent won't make you discard cards? Or I don't know. I can see why I don't know what it does, because I can see why no one plays it. Also, there's no meta. Okay. I was going to say there's no meta in Commander. There is a bit, but like, come on. There are hundreds and thousands of decks that you could see on any given day playing Commander, especially against strangers. Who's going to be doing hand attack? Not nobody. Nobody does. In fact, that's what it is. It's the opposite of what I was saying. There's a meta against hand attack, because who wants to attack one player's hand when you have 3 opponents? Hungry for more seems cool. There it is. There's the one vampire that I'm actually going to play. God, it's an uncommon. It took me this long to find one. Vampire Socialite. Black-red for a 2/2 with Menace. It's a Vampire Noble, which is cool. When Vampire Socialite enters the battlefield, if an opponent lost life this turn, put a +1/+1 counter on each other vampire you control. That is sick. As long as an opponent lost life this turn, each other vampire you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. It gets you coming and going. It gets you either way. Yeah. So every vampire that you play from that point on has Bloodthirst 1. Everyone that you played previously has retroactive Bloodthirst 1. It has Menace. And in my Edgar Markov deck, you cast it, you'll create a vampire token, then it enters the battlefield, and this will put a +1/+1 counter on the token. This card is amazing. I wish I got a foil of it, but I just need one, period. So you're going in a special place where I'm absolutely sticking you in a deck. Cool. Don't like you. Don't like you. I'm tired of the tireless guy. Graveyard Trespasser. What do I know about this? I've seen this before. 3 mana, 3/3, ward, discard a card. When it enters the battlefield or attacks, exile up to 1 target card from a graveyard. If a creature card was exiled this way, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Flips into... Yeah, I mean, I guess the card seems okay. It's another black werewolf. I think there's 2 of them in this set. Foil Bat Whisperer. Okay, I'm sorry, I can't stay distracted on that. I got a Microsynth Golem, and this is cool as hell. Microsynth Golem, an 11 mana artifact creature. It's a 4/5. Oh, that doesn't seem very good, except affinity for artifacts, so it costs 1 less for each artifact you control, and artifact creature spells you play have affinity for artifacts. Once again, I would love for upgraded Oracle text, so just so it says that you cast, but whatever. This card is powerful in the right deck, very powerful in fact, and I think is worth a little something. I don't know, 5, 10, maybe more dollars? Because I don't think they've ever reprinted it, and there are some decks where that's just an absolute powerhouse. I think there might even be decks where that's a combo piece, where you can get affinity on your artifact creatures that normally don't have it, and you can get their cost all the way down to 0. So, Microsynth Golem, the best card that I've drawn in this whole box so far? Maybe. The one that doubles your creature's power and toughness is also very good. Also, the vampire that I'm actually going to play is quite good, because I'm actually going to play it. Oh, this art. Magic art is beautiful. That's the one thing. I think I have no complaints, no criticisms, no notes. Magic art is consistently great, occasionally amazing, often, you know, speaking to a specific thing. Like they're experimenting consistently now with different styles, different themes and stuff like that, and I love it. I don't personally enjoy every single piece that comes out for my own personal aesthetics, but even when I look at a card and go like, okay, I wouldn't put that art on my wall, it's usually something that someone else would, that would speak to them, and I recognize that, and I still recognize that card, that art is amazing. Then it's all hits, no misses. Unnatural Moonrise, really good werewolf card. Glad I finally got one. There's another Tavern Ruffian. I'm getting sick of him. Bait Hook Angler. I'm glad to see some fishermen in Magic, by the way. Why are there not more fishermen in Magic? Glad to see one, though. Heirloom Mirror. Oh, I don't know this card. Okay, because, yeah, it's not a rare, so I would have missed it in the previews. 2 mana, a colorless and a black for an artifact. 1 tap, pay 1 life, discard a card. It's, okay, a bit of a cost. Draw a card, mill a card, then put a ritual counter on Heirloom Mirror. Okay, then if it has 3 or more ritual counters on it, remove them and transform it. Activate this only as a sorcery. Okay, you got me hyped. What's on the back? It's a 4/4 flyer. Inherited Fiend. Come on, focus. Inherited Fiend, Demon. 4/4 flyer. For 2 colorless and a black, exile target creature card from a graveyard. Put a +1/+1 counter on Inherited Fiend. Well done, young fool. Well done. Now for your reward. Oh, speak my name thrice and be rewarded. Oh, it's like a Candyman situation. It's a Bloody Mary thing going on. Okay, I love this card. I love this card. It's probably not even like good. I don't know what people are going to do with it, but I love the design. Love it. And Deserted Beach, I finally got a land. How have I got more fetch lands in Modern Horizons 2 than I've gotten these kind of worthless like $3 lands in this set that I'm probably not going to play in anything. I mean, they're not bad. They're not bad. I probably will play them in decks that don't have perfect mana bases. Also, I love this. That's a good doggo. And then when you disturb into a ghost, oh, it's still a good doggo. Remembers its master even when they're a ghost. It's very sweet. I love it. Oh, ooh, and the human token who's holding a pumpkin. Trying not to burn yourself, dude, but that's very cool. I like that creature token. How close are we? We've actually got a lot left. 4, 5. Oh my god, I've been at this for so long. Y'all, am I gonna have to break this up into 2 parts? I don't know if you even want that. One long ass video, maybe. Ooh, clue token. A clue token? Well, this is supposed to be the front. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Sorry, I already got the better one of those. Mountain. I keep having things to say about some of these cards. I'm gonna hopefully have less to say about certain cards as we get further along. More fishermen. But, oh! I heard some people complaining that this is not a very good white commander. I think it's a great white commander. It's arguably better than Brimaz. It's, it helps you go wide and benefits you for going wide. I mean, sure, people might be a little tired of white commanders that care about combat and making creature tokens, but I think this is a good one of the best. So I actually like it. And a foil common. And the clue token. Okay. Adeline, Resplendent Cathar. Because I saw it on somebody's, like, worst of list for Innistrad. And I was like, come on now. Don't be so harsh. This coming from me. Like, went on a 10-minute rant about freaking Avacyn's Memorial. And then Adeline shows up, and it's, like, a little stale. And I'm like, nah. Oh, no, it's probably a checklist card at the back. I just saw a little peek of. Join the dance. I love the, like, Midsommar, the, like, Wicker Man flavor of this set. That, I think, was an excellent idea. To do that as, like, the flavor of the set. Ooh, showcase version of Catilda. Protection from werewolves. Humans you control can tap for 1 mana of any of this creature's colors. 6 to put counters on things. That's really cool, and I got the showcase version of it. That's great. Candle Grove Witch. Third Admirer. Oh yeah, this is the one people are giggling about. I think because it's like she's got a big old erection going on there. I don't know. People are being silly on the internet. Hey, Gisa, Glorious Resurrector. She is really cool. She's really powerful. I think I've talked about her already because I opened a foil one in my pre-release kit. Spoilers. But she's great. Let me just put it that way. And a foil of the reprint card that has been reprinted a few different times. Okay. Let's keep it rolling. Teferi. Cool. Swamp. Burn. Immolation. Love this as a reprint, by the way. From, like, Legends? Something like that in, like, 4th edition. And creature gets +2, -2 for 1 red. This is a great, like, kind of hidden gem. Just to reprint as a common, anyway. This seems actually pretty good. Flame Blade Brigand. Flame Channeler. No, it's an uncommon. Covetous Castaway. Bloodline Culling. 3 mana. Target creature gets -5/-5 until end of turn. Creature tokens get -2/-2 until end of turn. I don't love it. It's probably good for standard, but oh, what in the... What is this? I can barely see this. It is so dark. Focus. There we go. This is a borderless foil blue-black land. But it's so dark, I can hardly see it. This thing can hardly focus on it. Wow. I mean, that's probably worth something. Might be the best card that I've pulled, because a borderless foil rare, and the lands in this set are not worthless. But, so the border on a Magic card is black. And this is a borderless card that is so darkened and saturated that the edges of this borderless card are also black. I can't see anything. In my other review, I did complain, if you can believe it. I complained that every single piece of Magic art, in fact, if there's one complaint that I can make about Magic art, actually, I just remembered one complaint, is that they take the art submitted by the artist, whatever the original state is, and then they increase the saturation by 10%, and they decrease the brightness by 10% on everything that is given to them. They just make it 10% darker, 10% more saturated on everything that's given to them. And then with the foils, the foiling process perhaps, they end up being 10% more contrasted, meaning the blacks are even blacker. And the whites are in theory whiter, but that means that a card like Shipwreck Marsh, you can't see shit. It's too dark. So I'm sure that the art by Stephen Belladin is fantastic. That name rings a bell. I've seen his art before, and it's good. But that's not it. I can't see what's going on there at all. Wizards ruined it. Diagraph Rebirth is really good. Hound Tamer, cool, already got him. Baneblade Scoundrel, another black werewolf. Interesting. The Bird Admirer. Giggle. Sun Gold Sentinel. This got used against me in the sealed event the other day. It's not that great, though. Shady Traveler is my foil. It's whatever. And an insect token. Whoop. Okay. Well, so far, this video has had a lot of ups and downs, that's for sure. I got art for Ormondal. If we ever actually do see Ormondal here, you'll note my disappointment that Ormondal is no longer indestructible. He now dies to everything. So, Defenestrate. Is this on my first Defenestrate? I'm almost done opening the whole box and the pre-release kit, and I didn't find a single copy of Defenestrate, which is supposed to be like the standard common removal spell. It's decent, but like, it's a rare common, I guess. Flesh Taker. Love this card. Spooky. Audric's Outrider. 4 mana, 2/4. Another creature you control dies. So okay. Okay. Ooh! Well, okay, kind of. So, this actually did get an award for, like, worst commander in the set. So, that's cool. I got the alternate art treatment on the worst commander in the set. Also, it has, like, an etched foil pinstripe thing going on. But I think all the black and white cards in this set have an etched foil pinstripe going on. So, it's not that unusual. But I did get an alternate art rare, and it's double face. And I think the backside, his eyes being empty like that, it's pretty spooky. I almost want to build this deck to prove that guy wrong, though, because I don't think he's as bad as he made him out to be. Sure, you know, the ability that investigates can only be done once a turn, so that's a little underwhelming, but I could make it work. This card is otherwise very cool. Ambitious Farmhand. I really like this Sprout. Why am I not seeing more of this Sprout? This Fungus is really cool. Malevolent Hermit. That's a rare that I don't really care much about. Nebelgeist Intruder. That's an uncommon that I don't much care about. And a Beast token. Okay. Denick. Yeah, I'm tempted to build the Denick deck just to prove some of the haters wrong, because I do that kind of thing sometimes. Oh! Okay, gold signature Lisa art card. That's cool. Forest. Wait, that looks like Kaya. Is that Kaya? Chandra, Teferi, and Arlen sought clues to the Moon's Silver Key's whereabouts, while Kaya dispatched the spirits obstructing their path. Kaya is not in this set, so that tells me she must be in Crimson Vow. I mean, most sets have like 3 or so planeswalkers in them, and most of them are visitors. So we've got Teferi, and we've got... well, Arlen Cord is here. Who's the other planeswalkers in this set? It's not Chandra. Teferi, Arlen Cord. No, I can't remember. Anyway, it wasn't Kaya. So Kaya's going to be the next one. Was it Chandra who's here? I don't remember now. Haven't drawn any of them, so I wouldn't know. Are there planeswalkers in this set? No one's shown me any. Please show me at least one. Fateful Absence. That's another card that I've been looking for. Okay, I didn't realize they made it rare. This is this set's equivalent of like Swords to Plowshares or Path to Exile, but it costs 2 mana and it destroys instead of exiles. So it's not as good as either of those, but it's probably the next best thing. It can get creatures or planeswalkers. It's still an instant. 2 mana is not that much mana, and the opponent gets to investigate, and investigating is not that strong. So this card's pretty good. Hey, a white rare that is actually like not overcosted by too much. I mean, they probably could have literally cut 1 mana off of it and said exile, and it would still be fair if you ask me. But, as is, it's still pretty good. And hey, I was just saying, I need more of this fungus, and I got a foil one, and that's great. Very happy to get a foil fungus. I think that fungus, I don't know, it's got potential. Maybe for standard. I play standard in arena and not paper, so kind of doesn't matter that I just got 2 copies of it in 1 pack in paper magic, because I doubt I'm ever going to play paper standard again. Oh, the head. Plains. The common. Oh, there's a zombie that cares about zombies. That's always nice. It's a blue-black soldier. That's weird. Corpse Cobble. I hope there's a creature token that actually looks like that, considering this makes a blue-black zombie creature token with menace. I hope there is. I haven't seen it yet. I hope there is one, though. Ooh, did I just get a hint that there might be a Planeswalker at the back of this pack? I really hope there is. Really hope there is. I could use it. Catilda. Okay, well, I already have one of her in a better style. Oh, no, there's not a Planeswalker at the back of this pack. It is a trick. It was a trick. Silly me. They got me again. Also, I was really hoping to get the Meat Hook Massacre from this set, as I do intend to play that in a deck or 2. I haven't found one. Based on the gambling that I'm doing here, I mean, there's no guarantee that I'm going to. In fact, odds are that I won't. So far, I think value-wise, I'm still pretty much getting wrecked here. Oh, this card, I haven't read it carefully. 2 mana instant, target creature gets -2 until end of turn. If it's night, that creature gets -13 instead. This seems really cool. And you were almost finished with that ritual, weren't you, darling? How very rude of me. To make it up to you, I'll send you an invitation to my wedding. Is that Catilda? Hold on. Focus. Yeah. Yeah, that appears to be Catilda being killed by Olivia. Wow! That's a thing that happens. Okay. Oh, I remember liking this card. This card's pretty good. I actually like just like Ward 1 thrown randomly on creatures here and there. Please do that more. I like my creatures just randomly having a little bit of protection. Yeah. Tired of this guy. Hey, there's one of the better cards in the set. Lear. Okay, great. I don't plan on playing him in anything. Well, there's a good reward. Aura Shards. That's one of the better cards on the list, I think. What was it, like $12, $20, $30, something like that? I don't know exactly, but a good chunk of change for a card they haven't reprinted since, like, the first set of Commander or something. Goes in pretty much any green-white deck. I would recommend it for any green-white deck that plays creatures, which is all of them. So yeah, this card's excellent. I think I already have enough Aura Shards for my decks, but it's valuable. I may still play it in other things. I might even swap out one of my existing ones with it for style points, but I don't know. It's another thing where, like, it says when a creature comes into play, and I prefer the Oracle text when it enters the battlefield. I don't know if the reprint they did in Commander actually has the update Oracle text on it either, though. If it doesn't, I don't know, I might replace it. Also, is the little mystery booster symbol in the corner style points? Is the old border style points? Not really for me. I played with the old border for years before the new borders came out, and I don't prefer them. I prefer the newer borders. So, oh well. It's still a really good card, a really cool reward. It's valuable. It's useful. I can't complain. Not complaining. This is me not complaining. Sludge Monster. I think this card's cool. And I like that it can make your little creatures better, especially like the decayed zombies. You can make them effectively not decayed, and can make your opponent's creatures suck. I like this card a lot. Foil Blood Pact is neat. What do we got here? Another card from the list. It's another uncommon that I already have. That's green-white, and but it's good. It's good in some things. In fact, yeah. Is this? These go in like the Catilda or what's Kyler? I think the human tribal deck that's been coming out. Like someone's helping me build this human tribal deck, I guess. Someone who's packing my packs for me. They want me to buy that green-white commander deck, I guess, because Kyler's in it. And Kyler says, like, whenever another human enters the battlefield under your control, then you put a +1/+1 counter on it, and then all of your humans get +1/+1 for each counter on it. So Juniper Order Ranger and Aura Shards and some flickering stuff, it's just brutal. This is amazing, and I love it. Oh, foil swamp with the purple pinstripe. I love this. I love the art. Don't love that it came out of the pack dinged in the corner. Gotta flatten it a little bit. Okay, well, despite that, very cool. Immolation, that's cool. I say a lot of things are cool. A lot of things are cool. Hey, another one of these. I'd love to get a foil one. I'd rather get a Planeswalker, but I'd also love to get a foil Vampire Socialite. That would make me happy. Yeah, seen it. Oh, okay, great. This is a good card. I mean, it's not particularly valuable, I don't think, but it reminds me, it's like Grave Titan, but in green. And yeah, when it enters the battlefield, you create 2/2/2s, and it's a 6-mana 6/6. Granted, it doesn't have Death Touch or the ability to make one or make 2 more when it attacks. But then you flip it, and what's this? It becomes a 7/7, and it makes 2 when it attacks as well. And for 4 mana, you can have a werewolf or a wolf you control fight a creature you don't control. That's sick. Okay, so this card's good, and I saw the next one. Oh my god, we got a foil showcase Jaren Corrupted Bishop. I don't like this guy. Or the fact that he turns into Ormondal, which no longer has Indestructible, or no longer has 9 power. That said, it's a valuable card. The art is great. I actually love the Ormondal art. If I can get that sharpened up there a little bit. Yeah. I also saw the trailer for this set, the Innistrad trailer, and I kind of hate it. And this guy apparently runs an orphanage where he's abusive to children, especially a handicapped child. Yells at him for dropping apples and then hurts him on camera, and I don't like that. So, yeah, I'm not going to be playing this card. God, I wish I got anything but him. Because this purple treatment around the outside edge, purple's my favorite color. So I love the design of this aesthetically, but why'd it have to be Jaren? Of all people. The abusive orphanage owner. And yeah, the front face of it's probably just really good on its own, honestly. So it's probably going to be pretty good, I don't know, in standard or something like that. Anyone want it? I'd happily trade it away. Especially if there's another card that has the purple pinstriping. I'd love to get a foil showcase of anyone else in purple. Play with fire, strictly better shock, and I love it. Unnatural Moonrise is very strong. Visions of Glory, I believe this is another one of those, yeah, set booster pack exclusives. And actually, this is another thing that I love. This whole X is the greatest mana value of a commander you own on the battlefield or in the command zone. I love that reward. create a 1/1 human creature token for each creature you control. Yeah, this card seems really cool. It's especially going to be good in that Kyler human tribal deck that we were just talking about, where you create a whole bunch of humans, flash it back for even more humans. I like that it rewards you for playing a more expensive commander. I play the big Teysa in a deck, the 7-mana Teysa. And, you know, that's hard. Not everyone can pull off a 7-mana commander. I also play Gashoth, an 8-mana commander. You have to go through a bunch to get to that. But then I love some of these cards that are designed to reward that. This isn't maybe exactly what I want to be doing in that deck, but still pretty good, pretty cool. I like the design space they're going into there. Seen him before. Hallowed Respite. 2-mana sorcery, exile target non-legendary creature, then return to the battlefield under its owner's control. If it entered under your control, put a almost one counter on it, otherwise tap it. Seems okay, but as a rare and it's a sorcery, eh. Pestilent Wolf. Wolf token. Hey! I like the purple in the background. And we are on the last pack, and I have seen no Planeswalkers. So remember, if anyone tells you that there are Planeswalkers on Innistrad, tell them that they are lying. They are liars. There are no Planeswalkers in this set, actually. Because you saw it. You watched me open this whole box. There are no Planeswalkers in it. But yeah, Mountain Foil's amazing. Common. That's actually really cool. The American Gothic reference there. Shady Traveler, more of these. Love this guy. Patrician Geist. 3-mana 2/2 flyer. Other spirits you control get +1/+1. Suppose you cast from your graveyard, cost 1 less to cast. That seems great. Seems really good. Sungold Barrage. Okay. Decent foil. And my last card is from the list. It is Light Up the Stage. Not a great reward as the list card, but it is a neat card. I do like it. I've played it in things before. It is good. This is fine. All right. That said, I'm coming in, looks like just under the 2-hour mark. I think that's where I want to leave it. Thank you for joining me through this rather long, rant-filled journey through Innistrad, where we've had, you know, some highs and lows. I don't think that we made our money back today. We did see some cool things, though. Unnatural growth, REM, you know. We saw some frustrating things. We saw some pretty things, some stylish things, whether they were good or not. Yes, and I've got a lot to sort. So, I'm going to wrap up this video, and hope to catch you around sometime in a game of Commander, or talk to you again when the next set comes out. And, also I want to plug my Twitch real quick. I'm on twitch.tv/QMark4. I'm going to be streaming more on there soon. QMark, QMARC4. If you're not following me there already, please do, so that when I do stream, you'll know about it. I'm going to be playing more Magic Arena, maybe some other games like GeoGuessr or Frostpunk, stuff like that. And I'd love to hear more in chat from other people who know me and who don't. Anything like that. So, otherwise, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and take care of yourself. Bye-bye.